Hey everybody, I'm in here for a few minutes. I've had some excitement going on around the house. I just posted on my personal Facebook page that I heard this weird noise. I was in the bathroom and I heard this weird noise and I didn't know what it was, and there arose such a clatter. I went out on the lawn to see what was the matter. I really thought it was somebody was flying a drone over our heads, and I was going to go grab the shotgun and shoot it. Yep, I was going to go grab the shotgun and shoot it out there. Anyway, it was funny. It wasn't a drone. It was our friend Bruce Bamford. He was blowing our leaves because he said it's hard to shovel snow when there's leaves underneath it. So he blew the heck out of those leaves. And now our driveway's clear and our walkway's clear, and we are good for either a 2-inch or a 20-inch snow. Who knows? But whatever comes, we are ready. Ready, Freddy. Anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit today about, today is our 19th anniversary. Can you believe it? Time really does fly when you're having fun. And that's the one thing, if we will, hold on a second, I gotta pick something up. Because I'd probably step on it and break my neck. And we wouldn't want that. Anyway, when you're doing something you love, when you do it every day, it doesn't feel like work at all. It's not work. It's my life's calling. And I would like to thank you, our FlyBaby, for that. Because when FlyLady started in 1999, December the 7th of 1999, I didn't have any idea where it was going or what it was going to do or how it was going to be. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. And everything has just evolved. It's kind of like our houses do. I had spent the whole year of 1999 getting myself organized. I had become a county commissioner. I was terrified that the men on the board of commissioners were going to find out my dirty little secret that I couldn't keep house. So I set out on January 1st of 1999 to figure out why I couldn't keep house. And the conclusion I came to that day was the foundation for everything we do at FlyLady. Everything. And that conclusion was I had never established a habit. So I set out to establish one habit a month. And that one habit a month helped me to piggyback on the other habits as I was practicing them. And before I knew it, I had a morning routine, a before bed routine, an afternoon routine. I had routines for taking care of me. And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And my house was gleaming. My kitchen sink was shining. I was looking like I lost 20 or 30 pounds when I hadn't lost anything. I was just not dressing in frumpy clothes. And my life changed. It really did change. And then on December the 7th, one person, this was just before Y2K, those of you who are old enough to remember this, it was a crazy time. People thought that the world was going to come to an end with the changing over from 1999 to 2000. People really thought that. And I had set up routines. I was prepared for anything that might happen. It was wonderful. I was not afraid of whatever 2000 brought. December the 7th, one person was afraid that she was going to lose track with me, and She asked me if I would set up some email group. At that time, it was I set it up on a company called One List. It got bought out by eGroups, which got bought out by Yahoo Groups. We became Yahoo Group's largest group in the world, and other than a porn group. But we didn't do porn. We sent out messages to help you remember to do things. And you think you got a lot of messages today? Hey, that ain't nothing. We used to send out 25 flat out reminders every day. Just every hour there was something else to do. From getting dressed to shoes first thing in the morning. It was a lot of email to remind you, and people's lives changed. They were seeing great advances, progress in their homes. And that's because I have a big mouth. I didn't have a clue what we were going to do, but I knew that my reminders, I had a little Palm. It wasn't even a Palm Pilot at that point. I don't know what it was, but I had this little reminder thing that wasn't even on a phone. It was just a handheld address book. And I sent out these reminders to me because I didn't have a cell phone. None of us did, really. And those reminders were keeping me on track, helping me to establish habits, and I was really getting things done. Now, we have an app that helps you to do that. It's our FlyLady app. It sends out reminders, which is what I love. I love reminders. I love the way everything comes together. If you get up and do the reminders, I wear an iWatch, and my FlyLady reminders come to my iWatch. It's really good. You can have success too. Well, I never dreamed that we would have 5 people, much less the first day there were 8 or 10 people. And the next month there were 100. In a year's time, we had 10,000 members. By the time we left Yahoo, there were almost 500,000 people following us and getting our messages. Now on Facebook, we have 600 and something thousand. I lose count. Last time I looked, it was like 633,000 people on Facebook that like our page, and there's another 500,000 that are following us. I didn't set out to do that. This was not my plan at all. I didn't even want to be on Facebook, folks. But I am now. And it has just really changed everything. There's my friend Donna. When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I had no clue. And it wasn't until I got my act together, got my life in order, that everything started falling into place. Just beautifully falling into place. And it's of divine design. It's not me. I didn't plan. I didn't have a huge business plan to come up with stuff. I didn't do any of that. All I did was set out, kind of like Mr. Bruce Bamford just did for me, to be of service to people, to help others, to show them that if I can get organized, anybody can get organized. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Because my sister Patty will tell you, I was a messy kid. I had clothes piled up in a chair, and miraculously every day they would kind of go away. But when I got my own room, it was awful. It was awful, awful, awful. I got organized, and if it could happen to me, it could happen to you. And my life changed. My focus now, with a clean house and routines in place, was maintaining my home, and then and then I was able to do other things. like put together a book and then put together another book with my friend Leanne Ely. And then a couple years ago, we did the 31 Baby Steps book. And now on December the 18th, my 4th book will come out. 4 books in almost 20 years. That averages about a book every 4 to 5 years. Well, I don't know how I do it. I set up little systems, as Scott Adams would say. The way you make things happen is to develop a system. Not just to think it's going to happen, but to set up routines to make it happen. So my goal in writing books were to get up in the morning, get dressed in lace-up shoes, do my morning routine, sit down with my breakfast, have a good breakfast, have my lace-up shoes on, and then sit down on my computer and write for 3 hours or 10 pages, whichever came first. And you know, my first book took 2 weeks to write. My second book took 2 years. And the third book, we put it together in 6 weeks. And then the 4th book took about 3 months of consistency. I had a different routine for that one. That book, I would play a game. I had a little, my editor would send me little topics for me to write on. And I would cut them up and put them in a bowl and draw one out. And sometimes I would write 3 things a day. And you know, it all fell together so fast. And December the 18th, it will be out. The Chaos Cure. And it's lots of little essays that really get you to thinking. And it was geared toward a younger crowd because they have short attention spans like most of us do. And I love it. I've read the book. If you go pre-order the book on Amazon, it'll be at your house the day it comes out. And you can download the audio that night at midnight on the 17th, but the 18th, Eastern Standard Time. So folks, a lot can happen when you get your house in order. People have gotten their PhDs with their house in order. They've gone to law school. I had one of the ladies who wrote a blurb on the back of my first book, Sync Reflections. She said, "You're the reason I had 6 kids." Yes, Dr. Melanie. I never had been told that before. She said, when I realized that my house didn't have to be messy, even with 6 children and homeschooling, she said, we decided to have more kids. And they had just had 1 when I met her the first time. So folks, the sky's the limit. If you will practice your habits, string them into routines, set up systems, set up little routines for doing the things that you want to do. I like to play a game. Sometimes I'm setting my timer 15 minutes all day long. Why am I doing that? I get up and putter around the house for 15 minutes, and then I write or do something else for 15 minutes sitting at my computer. I get up, and you know when I have days like that, my little watch tells me how many steps how many times I've gotten up and down. Boy, can I get some stuff done. But I don't beat myself up if I don't get all the things done that I wanted to get done. You can do this too. I did it. Anybody can do it with a morning routine, an afternoon routine, and a before bed routine. Those 3 routines are going to change your life. Your house is practically going to clean itself. I know you don't believe me, but it really will happen. We have people on here that are talking about that right now. One time I was interviewed by a reporter from the Sacramento Bee, and I said those same words to her. My house practically cleans itself. It's on automatic pilot. And she said, that's a bold-faced lie. Well, you don't call this Southern girl a liar, because I don't lie. And so I went through my routines, and she stops me. And after I said my feet hit the floor, I make the bed, I go to the bathroom, I get dressed to lace up shoes, I go to the kitchen, empty the dishwasher, bam, bam, bam. And she said, I've been making my bed for 40 years. Or 35, whatever she said. And she said, sometimes I don't even know I've made my bed. And I said, exactly. Your house gets cleaned and you don't even know you've done it. So while the coffee's brewing, you can run your dust mop. While the coffee's brewing, one day you can do your feather duster. You can do your feather duster. Little things every day, you never have to see dirt again. Ever. Because your house is never going to be that bad. You're going to be 15 minutes away from being ready for anybody to show up at your door. And that's happened to me. The Chicago Tribune came to my house. And they called, this was before, when was this? Trying to think of a year. I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun. But they called me up and said, we're in Brevard. We need to try to find the way to your house. Well, I had on workout clothes. And I grabbed my dust mop because that's all that needed doing because we have dogs and cats. And while I was telling them how to get to my house, I did the floors. That's it. That is it. Right now, we're prepared for a storm. A great big one. Robert's put the big yardstick out on the back deck so we can see how much snow we've gotten. And we are ready. We have food in the refrigerator. Our generator, our propane tank is full. We're good. We're good. So, folks, start thinking about getting your house in order and doing it for the right reasons. Not for the eyes of men to see, but for your heart to be opened up to what God has planned for you. I just never knew what it was I wanted to be. But now I know, and I will be FlyLady till the day I die. I love what I do. I love how I help you and how we can help the next generation. And I know children rebel like crazy. But they never forget the disorder that you have in your home. They never forget it. And living with a person who is addicted to chaos and adrenaline is like living with an alcoholic, because you never know what to expect. It's just ping-ponging off the walls. So give your children the gift of you. The gift of you being calm. The gift of you being prepared. The gift of you loving your family by showing them with simple actions, just like Bruce Bamford just did for us. He blew our leaves. We didn't even know we needed it done. But he shows up with a big old blower and takes care of it. Because he loves us and he wants us to be safe when it snows. So, folks, nothing says I love you like a clean toilet. Now, while I'm talking about toilets, we have a new product in our fly shop. You have begged for many years for this product. And that product is a vase, a holder for your toilet bowl brush. And we finally got one. It is, I don't even have one for myself. I don't have it. I use an old vase. And that's what I've told you to do. But some of you are a little perfectionists and you really want to have one. It's this gray color. It matches perfectly. It fits down in the toilet bowl brush. The toilet bowl brush fits in it. And that way you can fill it up with that shampoo and body wash and stuff that you don't like, you've never used, but it's still soap, and soap is soap. And keep it in there, hold it up, let it drip a little bit, sort of do the circle around the top to get the excess off, and then swish your toilet. Swish your toilet. So folks, get ready for the storm. If you're in the South, in North Carolina, we're going to get hit. What does my vase look like? Mine is a crock. It is just a big old piece of, it's pottery, and it's big and ugly. And some friend gave it to me a long time ago, and I've been using it for years, and it holds a lot of liquid. Have a good evening, everybody. I don't know what time the snow's going to get here, but it'll come tomorrow, and it's supposed to snow for 3 days. 3 days at our house. December is going to be fun. Yeehaw. So everybody, thanks for all the anniversary wishes. How long do those brushes last? I would say about 5 or 6 years. They don't rust. They don't, in the time that we've had the toilet bowl brushes, we call them the rubber swishers, I've had to replace mine one time. That's all. Just one time. Y'all have a good evening. If I could do it, you could do it. I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Tomorrow maybe. If it snows, I'll show you pictures. Bye.